Hey, hey. So, January 2021. Oh my goodness. I feel like 2020 just was so long and slow and fast at the same time, with COVID and the quarantine and starting a new business and virtual school and withdrawing and then doing homeschool and all these things going on in the world in America. I just wanted to get on here and celebrate. January, but starting next week, is actually the official 1 year of me celebrating and being a part of Navan. And it gave me some time to look back and reflect on some things. And I just wanted to share them with you. I feel like it's a new year, refreshed energy, and people are really focusing on becoming recession proof. But I had to really rewind and tell myself or remind myself where I was before I got to the space where I am right now. And there is so much goodness that is about to happen. There is so much goodness that is building right now. And I'm really excited about some projects that I'm working on and some things that are going to be shared later. But my thought process in evaluating and trying to learn to give myself credit is assessing where I was so that I can recognize people who are in similar positions so that I can help them too. And that is my biggest goal, as you guys know, is just to be transparent and just to be there for people, to support people in their success and taking that step and guiding them to the vehicle or the thing that is going to help them heal or help them have financial freedom or help them, just really become more of their authentic self. So I was looking back and, January of 2020, I was in a really dark place, really dark place. I'd been dealing with daily headaches for over 5 years from a brain injury, migraines every week. You guys know I was medically retired at 28 from the Army, from active duty because of some brain injuries and things like that. And was hit by a car, had a bad exit out of as a paratrooper, jumping out, and just all of these other things on top of stress that just, my body just said it's time for rest. It's time for something new. You've done a really amazing job, but now let's do something different. And that was life shattering for me. And during that same time, I divorced my then husband. I had been with him since I was 15, so that was a huge shake up to everything. And then I was a new mom, so then not only did I have to figure out civilian life, the VA system, but it was how to be a civilian, and then how to be a civilian without a husband when I had been with this man for my entire adult life, and then how to process traumas, recognize them, and just try to be more of myself. And like many of us do, I was self-medicating on top of a lot of the prescriptions that the medical system, the VA system, had put me on. And I know I've shared this before, and you guys have seen the big tote that I had brought out before, where it had all of these bottles in it, and it was just really overwhelming. And I felt like I was taking handfuls of pills every day, and I wasn't eating. And then I felt like a zombie, and I wasn't myself, and I didn't feel like I was a good mom. And so I was like, I can't take all of these pills and not be alert for my child. I can't not be present for her. So then my self-medication was drinking. Like, if my body's hurting and in pain and the doctors aren't listening, that I don't want to be on muscle relaxers. I don't want to be on opiates. I don't want to be on these things that are really hard on your body. And my fear really stemming from having parents who were addicts, right? Of some shape, form, fashion. They were addicted to something, or drug users, and other family members were using drugs or overusing alcohol for certain things over the years. And so I really didn't want to be a part of that. And eventually I started drinking anyway. Drinking was my way of coping and numbing and justifying, well, I'm not taking these pills, but it still lets me function. It's not that bad. It's not that much. It's not that often, until it was. when an Army brother died, and I really had to check myself and say, this isn't it either. So in January of 2020, all of that was just coming to a head, and I was stuck in bed. I was getting out of bed to take care of my daughter, get her to school, come home. If I had a medical appointment, I would go, but it would be incredibly hard. And then it was like I was just existing through life. And that's incredibly vulnerable to share. And I know a lot of people can relate to it, because a lot of times we put on this brave face, or what I like to call masking, where we make other people feel comfortable while we're while we are uncomfortable, right? So in our discomfort, we're more, my one finger now, my daughter, while we are in discomfort, we want to give other people comfort, right? I hope that came out the way that I wanted it to come out. So anyways, in January, I was really just in this space of, what am I going to do? What does this next transition look like? I had tried in 2019 from January until August, right before my friend had passed. I had tried a civilian job, my first civilian job, and I was so excited to get out into the workforce and try something new. And I knew I had to get out of the house because my depression was getting really bad, and my sense of purpose was really muddy, and I couldn't see it. And so I tried this position that I thought would work, and I ended up having to walk out after about 9 months because I was too much of myself, and being critiqued in that way, it was so toxic, being told that, I was awesome, but I was too awesome. I was getting work done, but I was getting work done too fast. I was getting things done that needed to be done, but it made the person who was in the position before me look bad. So I didn't understand the civilian workforce as far as like the childhood antics or whatever. It was like high school, and the person in charge of me ended up, the day I walked out, she had said something about, you always have to have the last word. My last word was thank you. Someone had helped me with a project, and the building maintenance folks, and I had said thank you. And that's when she said that. And I realized in that moment that the joy I had when I first started the job, the joy I had when I was serving and helping people and getting projects done and having all of that excitement, that was fading away. And in that moment when she said my thank you was unwelcomed, I knew I had to leave. And I couldn't do it in the way most people would think. And, I felt really fortunate because I could just leave and still take care of my child. But I knew that I wasn't passionate about being there anymore because I wasn't appreciated. The work I was doing was not appreciated. So that is a huge part in as to why I became so dedicated, because I was already working online. So I was already becoming more dedicated into, okay, I'm going to make this online thing work, because I'm not traditional. Like, I went from working with soldiers and having structure and knowing the ins and outs and knowing how to build and how to push and inspire and get things done, to just kind of being out in the abyss and questioning everything and realizing people don't like questions. People don't like questions they can't answer. People don't like challenge when other people challenge the norm. And that is something that I love to do. And I used to drive my grandparents crazy too as a kid, but if people would say, oh, well, that's just the way it's always been done, I'd say, okay, cool. Why? Who said that? Can I make it better? Right? Because that's the way my brain works. So my idea of working online was giving me that freedom to explore, that freedom to welcome questions, that freedom to try new avenues and not be criticized for it. So anyways, I know this is getting incredibly long. Moving forward, in January of 2020, I had discovered one of my business partners in the old company that I was in started talking about Navan. but sharing her experience with toxic mold syndrome and really getting the toxins out of her cells and some other medical things that she had going on. And I was like, well, CBD hasn't helped me with my migraines. It hasn't helped me with my daily headaches. It helped me with that hypervigilance. It helped me with some other aches and pains, but it was never helpful for the migraines. So I explored Navan, and it was just as a customer. Like, I'll buy a kit because it's a wholesale product and it's cheaper and there's no membership required and I don't have to worry about monthly fees, whatever. I'll try it. And they have a 30-day money back. Like, this is what I was like talking myself through, right? And I was like, it might work. It probably won't work because I've tried everything. I've tried Botox. I've tried Imitrex. I've changed my diet. I've tried every doodad and gadget, next traction, chiropractor, everything you could possibly think of. Like, it's probably not going to work, but I'm going to try it out. And I tell you, that is when my testimony started. And it was bigger. I can say now, looking back, it was bigger than I ever anticipated, because not only on that third day did it relieve me of the headache that I had for every single day for 5 years. I still get headaches. But it gave me a break. It gave me a break, a pause in pain. And I know people know the term mental load, that women carry this mental load, right? Like, our brain is always going, we're always thinking about the next thing. And when that is bogged down by physical pain, chronic pain, migraines, the stress of life, depression, and everything else, life is surreal. Like, you are there, but you're not really present. You're not really there. So that was a huge indicator to me that what I had been searching for was not with my previous company, but it was with this one. So I decided to close my other business down that was strictly CBD and open up this one that allowed me to explore new products, new ways of holistically healing and getting the bad stuff out so that everything else I was doing could possibly work better, right? And in doing so, getting a little emotional on the inside, but in doing so, it opened up opportunities to me that I've never experienced before. Hold on, my thing's about to move. I was not only rushing through the ranks and getting success incredibly fast because I was so passionate, so driven. I was on the phone almost 24/7, jumping out of the shower to help my team build, jumping, from like Zoom calls for my kid to Zoom calls to support people, to tell them about these amazing products and this opportunity. And I got promoted incredibly fast, and I felt like I was seen for the first time. I felt like my pain really did have a purpose that was tangible, that made sense to me, and I knew that it could help someone else because I was in this new safe space to share it, to share it with other people so that they could do the same thing in their own way, in their own voice, in their own story, because I am so passionate about this, that we each have a story, we each have struggles that someone else needs to know about. Not like I'm going to go complain about it, but showing them that there is hope on the other side of it, showing them that there is a way through it. And, Trey had said something to me in a mentor call a long time ago where he was just like, don't get stuck in your story. So often we tell this story of pain, grief, struggle, and we forget to continue to move through it. This is me going through it, right? I'm not at the beginning of my story anymore. I'm still moving through it. And that is giving people hope that they can do the same. If she can do it, she's just a normal person. She's no huge influencer online. She's no magical miracle worker. Like, I'm a single mom, Army veteran, disabled Army veteran. Like, if I can do it, you can do it too, right? So don't get stuck in your story. But I was given these incredible opportunities to not only become a top income earner, to not only become to be on leaderboards for retail sales and all these other ones that they have, and just having that surreal moment. And then I was able to participate in what we called a Super Saturday, where I had like a little clip with huge influencers and the CEO of our company and everything else, where I was able to be seen and heard and share my message of hope for other people, for Army veterans, for veterans, for moms, for people. And I never felt that. I never felt seen in my other company. I always felt like I was just another number because it's this huge company. Everyone's got fancy cars and all of these other things. And I didn't understand the compensation plan really. And I didn't feel heard. I didn't feel supported. And I had no idea what to do. I was just winging it. But it's the complete opposite here. Hold on one second. And it's such a, goodness gracious, it's such a blessing to be able to say that I am not only pioneering this new company, this new venture, but I'm a part of something bigger than myself. And it feels like a family on the corporate level, right? Like I didn't have that anywhere else. So as I was getting success really fast, I had that corporate team backing me and supporting me. Like, yes, this level of success is new for you. You're going to come through to meet new challenges that you haven't met before, but we're here to support you. We're here to talk to you, coach you, lead you through it. Just keep going. Don't quit, right? So having that support was everything, and learning how to navigate so many other personalities as you build a team, as you start pouring yourself into supporting other people, and learning how to manage disappointment when people don't show up when they say they're going to show up, but balancing it out with the joy for when they do, for when the other people do, and when you see other people's success stories and other people winning and healing and showing up for themselves and their families, and just making a way, becoming recession proof, becoming that whole, I like to call it whole body healing, like whole body wellness, right? Becoming that higher self day by day, step by step. And I feel like that is where I am. And it's because Navan pushed me there. It's because Trey and Emily. It is because of Paul. It is because, we have so many incredible core leaders that are driving this company ahead. And even when I took a step back, because homeschooling was a lot, I started having seizures, and no one knew about it for months. I was just kind of like handling it in the background, and I had a huge, the universe was just like, do you want this? And everything started to malfunction last summer. In my house, it's not old, so pipes were breaking, the water heater broke, a toilet broke, the fence broke, everything just started to crumble. But then I was like, look at this. I was able to pay off credit card bills from dealing with my ex-husband. I was able to pay off legal fees that were weighing me down, right? That every time I looked at the bill, it made me upset. I took that power back. I took it back, and I realized that other people could duplicate it because it is so incredibly simple to do. So now I'm in this space, and I feel so empowered. I feel empowered to take a step back when I need to provide more love and support for my daughter, for her mental health, for her well-being, for her school. I feel empowered to do the same for myself now, whereas before I felt guilty. I'm in this space that is loving. I'm in this space that is continuing to move forward, always growing, navigating new things or whatever, but it's allowing me to explore other avenues with support too. And that'll make more sense as I share my next adventures that I'm adding on to Navan. Not like another business or anything like that, but the things that I am doing for myself, for my healing, for my purpose, the purpose of who I am and what I'm here to do, the people that I'm here to serve. And I'm really excited for that. It's still a work in progress, but I don't want to spoil it. So it's been a year. It's been amazing. Ups and downs, learning lessons that I didn't even know I needed to learn. It's like that saying, you don't know what you don't know. But it's been incredible. Out of all of the trial and error of working online and the fears and feeling like I was left out in other spaces, this is home. So I just wanted to celebrate. It's 1 year, and I am such a better woman today. I am such a better friend. I'm such a better mom. And it's allowing me to be more self-aware, personal development, professional development, and really have